Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get started. I'd like to call the Monday, July 19th, 2010 council meeting to order at about 7:05 p.m. We have an invocation that's going to be given by Father George Ronkowitz, pastor of St. John's Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Shelley. Will you all please rise?
Let's place ourselves in the presence of our God and our Creator. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, send down upon those who hold office in this, the city of Homestead, the spirit of wisdom, charity, and justice, that with steadfast purpose they may faithfully serve in their offices to promote the well-being of all people. And grant, O God, that your holy and life-giving Spirit may so move every human heart, and especially the hearts of the people of Homestead, that barriers which divide us may crumble, suspicions disappear, and hatreds cease, that our divisions being healed, we may live in justice and peace. And we make this our prayer in the name of our God and our Creator, and together we respond, Amen.
Amen.
We have hearts. Honor our hope. Breathe on.
Please join me in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order on. Face, forward, march.
Please be seated. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Burgess.
Here.
Councilwoman Lobus.
Here.
Councilman Maldonado.
Here.
Councilman Shelley.
Here.
Councilman Williams. Vice Mayor Woolman. Mayor Bateman.
Here.
Councilman Williams contacted the city clerk's office today to advise that he had a family commitment that he could not reschedule.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, I'd like to open the floor to public comment. This is the time for public comment. If you remember, it used to be at the very end of the meeting, and now it's at the very beginning of the meeting. Yes, please come forward. You state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and everyone. Just like to say my name is Alex Andrickson. I reside at 338 Northeast 30th Avenue, Homestead, Florida. The president of Windward Isles Homeowners Association. Just like to thank everyone, Mayor, and everyone that put together the 4th of July celebration at the racetrack. Our family had a wonderful time, got to see Elvis and a few other folks in our community. So just like to thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Alex Diaz de Villegas, 1355 Waterstone Way. Been a Homestead resident and voter for almost 5 years now, and I have to say this is one of the lowest points in Homestead history since I have been here. Recently in the Herald, they reported that this council, for the exception of two members, voted away $5.5 million of my Homestead tax money. in exchange for $1 million. And to add more injury to that, this person, Redland Construction, that received this, according to the Herald, donated $25,000 to your previous election. Disappointing can't be enough. Embarrassment to the city of Homestead, I can't believe it. And it just seems that every single time there is a questionable vote, Mr. Shelley isn't present. Yet Mayor Bateman, Councilman Waldman, Councilman Maldonado, and Councilman Williams, which couldn't make it tonight. I am absolutely disappointed, and on behalf of all the citizens of Homestead and voters of Homestead, we would hope that you would return the equivalent $250 per Homestead resident that each Homestead resident just lost in that deal you struck with Redland Construction. Deplorable is the word. Thank you.
Okay, he's about 10% right out of 90% of what he said. There's $19 million left on the table. $19 million at today's price of fill. No, sir, you can't come back up. No, you said your piece, because you can't come in this court, you cannot come in this organization and misquote people. And you're misquoting from the Herald, and the Herald misquoted. And there are people here tonight that are very upset with the Miami Herald. No, sir, don't speak out. You lost your chance at the podium.
Of course, because 3 more lies.
No, it's not.
Tonight.
Typical of you and your operation. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, for the people who weren't here, who didn't read, maybe in the Miami Herald, the complete facts, the amount of fill that is left behind that we, the city of Homestead, chose to get into the rock business is about $19 million worth of fill left. Now, you say, what do you do with $19 million worth of fill? Well, it goes back to the exact same use that we talked about it from day one, Park of Commerce. And we hope to move forward tonight even on the Park of Commerce with some positive wording that's going to relieve some of the pressure in some of these people's minds here. But when a person walks in like that, and that person's from Waterstone, all they want to do is come in here and bring bad message, an incorrect message. So $1 million went into our bank account, which helped us balance the balance this year's budget, which we were about $1.7 million short. It'll help us tremendously with $19 million of asset left in the ground there. So I don't think that was a bad deal. I use the old saying that, a bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bushes. Simple as that. And we've got that bird in the hand, and we quit fighting. At some point, you must stop the bleeding. And I think Vice Mayor said that at our last meeting. I say it now tonight. I mean, as much as I may love our law firm, the only people that were making money were both law firms, because the city of Homestead was spending your tax dollars like water coming out of a faucet. And we put a stop to it. We put a stop to it, and we're moving forward with money in the bank. Simple as that. Thank you very much. With that, we'll move on. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just because my name was brought up specifically, I guess I should speak. He made a comment that I missed votes. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Unfortunately, on Friday, I was not able to be there. I did have a mediation. The original special call was scheduled for Thursday. I had made plans to be here on Thursday, and then I got notification on Tuesday that it had been moved to Friday. Unfortunately, I did have something that could not be moved. It was something that had been scheduled for more than a month. So, nevertheless, I wasn't there. I wasn't able to express my opinion. Now, with that being said, had I been there, my opinion would be, just briefly, at the executive session, I did express disfavor with this particular settlement, so had I been present, I would have voted no. Simple as that, so, for my own reasons. So, thank you. I just wanted to defend myself since I've been called out. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Anything from the council before I move forward with this positive side of this evening? Sure, go ahead. Okay, thank you. All right, we're going to move forward with the first item of special presentations, and that is with Athletic Director of the Year, Joel Fenari. Joel, if you'd come up on a real positive note here. Let me say a few things about Joel here. Joel, I've known for years, and one time we were neighbors, and good neighbors. I moved out of the neighborhood. He didn't. He stayed. But Joel Fenari, a graduate of Southwestern at Memphis, 1973, where he lettered in basketball, baseball, and earning an all-conference honor in both. He later earned a master's degree in health education from Florida International University and began his coaching career at his alma mater, Miami Carl Park Senior High. There he coached football, basketball, before becoming the basketball head coach in 1975. In 1978, he moved to South Dade High School as the head basketball coach and student activity director. After 3 years, Coach Fenari left for a college rank and assisted in basketball coaching at Appalachia State College, and then moved to the European League, I guess, right? European League, where he coached, I guess, semi-professional? Professional basketball in the European Professional Basketball League, yeah. In 1984, he returned to South Dade as athletic director. 26 years later, he still remains in the seat. At this time, sure, go ahead and applaud. 26 years later, I agree. During his time at South Dade, Coach Fenari has been involved in numerous community activities. He serves on the board of directors of the Family YMCA. He is currently sitting on the Little Angels board of directors and Larry Little Foundation board of directors and Dade School of Athletic Foundation. Recently, Joel was named the Athletic Administrator of the Year, and today we are here to honor him for his many contributions. And Joel, I've got a beautiful plaque for you, and, you know, job well done.
Thank you.
Here's a beautiful plaque. It reads, "With sincere appreciation to Joel Fenari, 2010 Athletic Director of the Year, for your many years of service and untiring dedication to our student athletes and the Homestead community. Mayor and Council, City of Homestead." Thank you, Joel. Thanks again. Thank you. Do a great job.
Thank you very much.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, under additions, deletions, and deferrals, I have a couple of items that I'd like to propose for deferral,
Okay, you're jumping ahead of me there, but go ahead.
if I may.
Delete, sure, by all means.
I would like, and in reference to tab 12, the Homestead Airport ordinance, I would like to request deferral. Also, tab 19, the one concerned with the vested rights ordinance, would also like to defer that. As you can see, there is a memo that I submitted to you
I passed it.
subsequent to a meeting that I had with all the parties involved with this issue, the airport ordinance, the property owners on both sides of the equation, the ones that live in under the APC 1, APC 2, and also in the Homestead Park of Commerce. And as summarized there, I have many findings, in my research when it came to, the actual way that we sold the properties and issues that pertain to vested rights and such. It's all outlined in my memorandum to you. But I think the city would be best served if we give this a little more time to address some of the issues that are still outstanding.
For the record, when do you anticipate bringing this back to us?
It's hard for me to say at this point. I would like to leave it open. I'll bring it back as soon as possible.
I think it should be a time certain, but, okay. We need a motion to move it?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll move it.
Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Discussion?
Yes, Mayor, I did have a question. Your memo referred to some language that you're looking to amend. May you tell me what that language is, please?
The ordinance as it stands before you today excludes the Homestead Park of Commerce, and in my part of my recommendation would be will affect the area under the APC 1 and APC 2 when it comes to their current development rights, and the current zoning and the current land use. As you know, most of those properties, all of the properties, I should say, within the APC1 and APC2, excluding the Homestead Park of Commerce, are zone A1, which means that you can you have a house for every 5 acres. And you can have other ancillary type uses as well. So having said that, there's also provisions in the proposed ordinance that pretty much define the current uses that you have at this time under those two zones as legal non-conforming uses. So I just want to work along those lines and make sure that everybody is a stakeholder retains some of those rights that they have, whether it's a property owner, whether it's the Air Force Base, and their intentions to secure and make sure that security, airport security is achieved, or whether it's property owners within the Homestead Park of Commerce.
Mr. Mayor?
Mayor.
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Shelley.
I don't disagree with the deferral. I don't necessarily know that I agree with the contents of the memo and the reasons for deferring, but at the end of the day, the same result occurs, that it gets deferred, and I think that's probably the best thing. Now, the only thing I do want to raise is dealing with tab 19 and the vested rights ordinance that's coming through. I don't know exactly what the direction of this council is going to be in the future, and so if we go ahead and put the vested rights ordinance up for first reading today, that it would put it on the same schedule as the airport ordinance. If either one of them ever comes back up, or in what form they come back up, at least they can move forward with expediency at that time. So the only thing I would bring up is I don't know exactly where the council wants to go with it, but at least if we go ahead and have the vested rights today and defer the other, it's set up to be moved forward together later if that's the choice of council or not. So that's just something I would raise for discussion for the rest of the council.
Is the vested rights even going to play part of it when you finish? I don't think
it is part of this to a degree. I just requested the deferral because the proposed ordinance as being brought to you today will change to some degree after we're done with the front part of it, which is the actual ordinance.
Since I got the floor, you said something that kind of confused me early on. You said that APZ1 and APZ2, as it wouldn't change as it currently is now. Are you saying it will change?
Well,
I thought it was future.
I said two things about the APC that pertain to properties within the APC1 and APC2. And that's number one, there is current provisions in the proposed ordinance that address the current uses within those two zones and define them as, legal non-conforming uses. In the event that you have residential, for example, under the APC1 right now, you have a residential use, under APC1 residential is prohibited. If you do have a residential use, it will become, after adoption of this ordinance, will become a legal non-conforming use. And to that end, what I'm thinking is along the lines of preserving those current zoning and land use rights in the same measure, but with a different approach from the regulatory standpoint. In other words, I will propose some change in the ordinance that will perpetuate what they currently have with the exception that if a development that it would be more intense in use or intensity in general will come before you, and we'll go through the same level of scrutiny as is outlined in the current ordinance as proposed.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor.
Yes.
Although I may not be in agreement with the deferral, I haven't really made up my mind on that, I think we need to set a time certain on this. There's too many people involved.
I agree.
Too many things at stake for a lot of different people. The military base, landowners and all that are trying to do things out there possibly to promote their land. The air base is trying to move things forward with what their mission is out there. And I think for us to keep dragging this out, however long it goes, is not fair to them. It's not fair to us. I've been working on this for 2.5 years. I told the mayor, tonight's the first night I've ever sat down here and had a knot in my stomach about a decision, because this isn't easy.
And we need to get it done. And we need to come up with the right answers, the right solution, not in 2 years, not in a year and a half, soon. That's my suggestion.
And to piggyback on that, I thought our discussion today was 30 days, next council meeting. Now it's whenever you can do it. I'm good for the next council meeting, so I concur with Mr. Burgess. Yes, Ms. Vice Mayor.
Oh, I didn't ask to speak, but I'll
When you flick that mic on, I figure you're ready.
I'll go ahead. I agree that it is time certain. I just, I know I found out a few things today that I need to do a little research on, and I want to study the Rockefeller actual document, and I don't know how many pages it is. Do you know? I know it's a pretty good size, but I would like to have time to go over with the attorneys myself, you know, line by line, if we have to. And I'm sure that, I'm not going to speak for other council members, but I know that I'm sure they probably will need to do that as well. I also found documents dating back to 2007 and 2006 that I found were quite interesting, and just think I need to have a little time to go over that. Now, I'm sure we can do that within a very short period of time.
Do you feel comfortable you can do it in 30 days?
I hope so. I hope so, as long as everybody, you know,
Mayor.
their time is right. But I'm just saying, we have to be certain, because I had emails today begging me to vote no, and I had emails today begging me to vote yes, and then I had emails today saying we've got to move forward, we've got to stay back. You know, it was back, forth, all day long. That's why I was late. I mean, I was still on the phone at 6 o'clock, people calling me. So this is very, very important, and I don't know if it's going to be brought back again before a Cal meeting, Mayor, or not, but I
didn't see a reason to. I thought that, you know, everybody get their questions answered and come back at the next council meeting 30 days from now, and let's, you know.
I'm okay with that.
I was prepared tonight. I know which way I'm going, and you really brought some things that were in a very gray area to me, so I agreed that it should be deferred, because there are some things that are very gray.
Two things, if I may.
Sure.
Two things that I would like to accomplish in this time, and I think 30 days might be a little bit too little to accomplish both. Number one, we have met, and the city has been the center of this dilemma to, you know, deal with properties that, you know, may encroach these two different zones that the Air Force has had since adoption of the first ordinance back in '91. We approached it from different angles. The city did. You have had several meetings here that date back to, you know, this last attempt was initiated in 2007 with the JLUs and so on. What I would like to see is the Air Force take a more active role and give them the opportunity, and this is what I would like to see, have them sit down with all the stakeholders and see if they can come up with some compromise. Now, in my last meeting that we had last week, I saw some of the property owners, affected property owners, that at one point were here at the podium stating that they would not move from where they were in terms of their position. Yet, when we got to that table last week, they were open to even accept the notion of a 50 people per acre, you know, regulation, with some minor changes. So people are starting to move in the positive path. I just would like to see the Air Force see the same thing I would like to see from the Air Force. And that would be my preference, that to give them the opportunity to meet one day, just them, excluding the city, just have them take the lead on that meeting and have more of a proactive approach instead of us being the one in the middle, to see what it can come out of that. And then In the interim, I would also like to meet with each one of you, because I did a lot of reading this weekend. I went through every RFP that we ever issued when it comes to properties within the Homestead Park of Commerce. What we said that we would live by when we sold property and such. I also looked at the possibilities from the land use perspective outside the Homestead Park of Commerce and into the, open areas that are currently, for the majority of it being farmed, current property that's currently agricultural use. And I came out with some ideas that I want to share with you. And it's going to take some, there's 7 of you, there's going to be some discussion that it's going to take, we need to have, and hopefully we'll have some kind of cohesive approach when we come back and look at this the next time. So I would say, give me at least 60 days to accomplish this. I don't think 30 days will be sufficient.
Let's hear some comments. Yes, Mr. Maldonado.
Okay, thank you. Few things. I know Councilman Burgess mentioned that he's been working on it for a few years. I would ask that you would consider some of the new members here that need to get caught up with what's happening here. I would like to make some more, I want to make a better decision, a more informed decision. I think the time will allow me to look into this a lot more. We were given to this, kind of seems nothing new at the final hour. And I stayed up to about 2 in the morning yesterday reading through everything, even though that during the week I've been going through it. So with that, I'm asking for more time. I would also like to sit down with the staff as well and work out some of the issues that I have questions that came up when I was going through all the documents. So I have some questions that I still have not gotten answered. So I would ask for the time for that. And I also want the council to consider that if we are asking for more time, I'm not sure. I know that there was a change. There's some change in command, and if that was going to be affected as well, so that if there is new command that is coming in place, that we would give them the time appropriate so that they could get caught up to what's going on. I know that the lawyers would bring the new command staff up to speed, but I want to make sure that they're just as informed and they're at the table with us as we discuss these issues. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor.
Yes.
So if I'm reading what you're saying correctly, on September 20th, we'll be done with this. That's 60 days.
September 20th today.
That's that's two council meetings down the road. Is that fair? Is that what you were saying?
That's what I'm looking for. Thank you. If that's the majority.
Mayor, I have a comment.
Yes, please.
Thank you. I hear what the city manager is saying, and I understand what the thinking behind the deferral is. I just don't think that I have much confidence within the next 60 days that we're going to get anywhere more than what we are today. And I'm telling you why, because we've gone from first reading, 2 workshops, 1 meeting with the stakeholders that you said you were going to have at the last workshop. I stated that it didn't seem like there was any middle ground between the people who were arguing for development rights and between the military base. I didn't see any middle ground, but I said, good luck with your meeting. And here we are after the meeting, still not with any revised language for us to look at. So I think that we keep pushing it and thinking that we're going to reach a point where everybody's going to be happy, and we haven't yet, and already we've had 2 workshops and a meeting. So I will go along with the deferral just because, to give the process a chance and to give the opportunity to what Councilman Maldonado has spoken about. But I don't see it necessarily changing too much from where we are today. I think that some hard decisions have to be made by this council as to whether we're going for the inclusion of the Park of Commerce or the exclusion of it. And based on that, we'll dictate how we move on the vested rights ordinance, which to me, tonight, was not relevant. The Park of Commerce is excluded from the ordinance. The vested rights ordinance, as it's written, is already being challenged by some of the same people that proposed a vested rights ordinance. So I hope that we can move forward, but I think at some point, we're going to come to a decision-making process, and we have to make that decision moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Vice Mayor.
I agree that there are going to be some really tough decisions, but I'm hoping that the parties can come together, as you said, and that we can come to some kind of compromise, because no matter what happens, there will be litigation unless we do this in a very, very strict manner. And there comes a time when we all have to be good stewards and we all have to work together. And my first concern has always been the air base, and we want to make sure that that is protected. We want to make sure that the developers' rights, you spent your good hard-earned money, that your rights are protected as well. So it's a catch-22, and I just don't think that I don't think we're being hasty. And Mayor, I want to thank you very much for what you've said tonight, because I think we need just to concentrate right now on protecting all entities as well as protecting the citizens and your tax dollars, because there will be litigation, and it was in my emails today from several of the attorneys. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Further discussion? Okay. At this point, the motion's made, seconded. We're going to go with 60 days, and with...
To September 20th.
Well, actually, if the new council date passes, it'll be the 21st, correct?
That's correct.
No, we're voting tonight on new council date on Wednesdays. Jimmy could...
That is right. That's
22nd.
another item on the agenda.
22nd. 22nd.
The 22nd.
Yeah, 22nd. Yeah, go back. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, let's go back to a lighter note. With special presentations.
I did vote opposed on that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. One negative, right? One negative.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, one concern.
I guess we'll give it a minute and let the room clear out. So
Yeah,
that,
and you
because-
can take it, you're the next. You're going to do the...
Is
kidney.
Diane Nunez here? Diane Nunez? Diane Nunez? Going once. I'm not sure of the dates, but Ms. Nunez was supposed to be here this evening to talk about kidney screening, which is going to be done in August at the Sacred Heart Church. Maybe we can contact her through the clerk's office tomorrow and get the dates and post something on the
Okay, thank you.
webpage.
Yeah.
Mayor, since I've got 1 minute, if I could do something real quick.
Sure. Please, go ahead.
Just, the city of Cerritos, California sent us a certificate of recognition to the city of Homestead for our arts and public places. They were one of the original people in the country to start the arts and public places. And their mayor, Dr. Joseph Cho, had sent us a certificate of recognition and telling us thank you very much. So I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Thank you.
Yep.
Did you want to read it? No?
That's all right.
Okay.
For the sake of time, we'll move on.
Okay. Ms. Lobos, would you like to? I'm sorry? Are they here? This, you were going to do the Art South presentation? Oh, I did? I'm sorry. They're not here. Oh, she's here.
I've been calling her, okay.
Mayor, she's so excited, and those people are here. I want to make sure you don't skip her. Item B.
Stacy, come to the podium, please.
No, I'm doing that on the 4th of July. We changed it.
Oh, okay. Oh, we changed it. That's been changed. That's been changed. Yeah.
I've
No,
got
that's,
it.
that
I
goes
have
on,
it covered.
it's on the 4th of July. That's why it came to you.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're cool, Stacy.
You're cool.
I would like to introduce Janice Klein-Young. She's with Art South Board, and I want to say I've had the privilege of meeting with them 3 times now and sitting on their board meetings, and it's just so exciting, everything that's happening at Art South. So it was a pleasure to see them on the agenda today, and they will be sharing with the council some important information that's going on in Art South and with the public as well. So please, thank you, Janice.
Thank you.
Staff and artists to come join me at the podium so I can kind of introduce you to them. We have, come on up. I'm proud to represent Art South. I'm the chair of the board of directors of Art South. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the facility. We're located in downtown Homestead, downtown historic Homestead, on a 3.5-acre beautiful former historic Baptist church site. And I'm flanked now by some of our staff, our executive director, Jeanette Mendina, the secretary of the board, Miss Beatrice Herman, and our esteemed artists and resident teachers that teach our education program at Art South. I'm very proud to represent Art South. I'm an art teacher, 35 years at the Young Men's Academy at MacArthur South, which has newly relocated to the Naranja area. I'm so glad to be closer to Art South. I'm not 25 miles away anymore. But I can tell you, and I'm a former Miami-Dade County Public School teacher. I run a fabulous service learning program out of Art South. I'm just here, I brim with joy. Art South historically began 10 years ago, and we're celebrating our 10th year in downtown Homestead. We offer second Saturday events for the public. Every second Saturday of the month is open house for Art South, where our artists, who are all represented here within the building, our beautiful artwork from some of our artists. I can tell you that in addition to the in addition to the second Saturdays, we have a fabulous education program that's currently taking place at Art South. We have the Art South Creative Summer Camp. That's an 8-week program for children from 7 to 15 years old, and it's all taught by our resident artists. I'm so proud of Art South. I just happen to be the chair of the board because it's such a wonderful place. We invite you to come and view the programs that we have going on and view the facility. We have a 250-seat performance theater where concerts and various theatrical performances take place. And I just have to tell you that it's an honor for me to be in front of you. It's an honor for me to represent Art South. And I invite you all to come and view the facility. I invite you to enroll your children in our programs because we have some fabulous professional artists who teach the programs. It's a one-of-a-kind program.
We're very happy that you're there, and I think that the city's stepping up to the plate to show you we're happy. We're doing our best to clean up around the area and re-landscape, and I know the chief has put some pretty heavy watches downtown. We're running the, what do you call those little three-wheelers? Oh.
I have a special relationship with Chief Roll because I have to say that 35 years ago at age 20, we were both hired at MacArthur South at that time. We both started working together as young people. I'm so proud to see him here. Yeah. I can tell you that it's an honor to be a part of the revitalization efforts in Homestead, too, to bring people into the area, to attract children, to attract families. As you may know, they're going to be opening the Atala Montessori School on our grounds in the fall. So we're going to have all kinds of children and families in the area and hope to attract more visitors to downtown Homestead. We're very proud.
Well, thank you very much for your input.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Maldonado.
Thank you, Mayor. I have coming before us today Jeff Thomas from Miami-Dade College. He has a presentation. Mr. Thomas, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mayor Bateman, members of the City Council. It is a great honor to be in front of you this evening for the 50th anniversary of Miami-Dade College and the 20th anniversary of the Homestead campus. The Homestead campus, I mean to tell you, is doing very, very well. Our enrollments are growing dramatically. We're up currently double digits for the upcoming fall semester. And one of the reasons we're up so much is because of the fine mixture of programming we have at our beautiful campus. And joining me here at the podium is Director Barry Gordon of the School of Entertainment Design Technology, and he's going to tell you a little bit about this, I think, unfortunately little-known program at our campus that we're hoping to become better exposed, and to a large degree because of his hard work and dedication at upgrading the facility and the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Thomas. My name is Barry Gordon. I'm the director of the School of Entertainment and Design Technology. And it's with great pleasure that I stand before you today to tell you about the wonderful, perhaps the best kept secret in town, but we no longer wish to keep it a secret. The School of Entertainment and Design Technology is a cluster of entertainment arts programs. We offer degrees and certificate programs in film production, radio and television broadcasting, music business. We're not the School of Music. We offer programs in music business, digital photography, web design, graphic design, and 3D computer arts animation. We offer 2-year degree programs leading to AS and AA degrees. We also are proud to announce that Miami-Dade College has been offering 4-year degree programs now, and the School of Entertainment Design Technology is included in the 4-year degree program. We pride ourselves on partnerships. We are one of the few schools that operates a broadcast television network. And those of you who watch on Comcast Channel 78, MDC TV, you're familiar with the set that I have up there on the screen. What's unique about the programming is that it's all college focused and it originates from the college, highlighting all the departments and special events that Miami-Dade College gets involved in. Another unique aspect of the television network is that all of the members who work in the crew, that is recording, floor directing, sound design, they're all our students who are studying broadcast and television directing. And oftentimes, working in the college television network leads to full-time employment, so we're very proud of that. We also enjoy a couple of partnerships. As you know, Miami-Dade College is the parent company of the Miami International Film Festival. And it gives a unique opportunity for our students not only to screen their films, but to network with the entertainment industry. We also offer seminars and workshops so the students get hands-on training and opportunities. Kodak participates in a cinematography workshop. We also have other special guest speakers and red carpet events. And as I already mentioned, we're beginning to offer a 4-year degree program, which leads to a Bachelor of Applied Science in Film, Television, and Digital Production. What's unique about this is that the students who have already completed or who are working towards a 2-year AS degree program, this program will take all of the courses already taken in the film or television production, and it gets accepted into the 4-year program. So once they complete the 2 years, they simply continue on. All of our courses are workforce related. We work with South Florida Workforce 23, and despite the economic recession, we are, the entertainment industry is booming at a growth of 2.47% each year. And there are more than 60 job positions open in the entertainment arts each year. So we act as a pipeline to feed our students directly into the entertainment industry. So that, in a nutshell, is the School of Entertainment Design Technology, and I urge everyone here, if you want to pursue a career in the entertainment arts, please look at Miami-Dade College, because we offer a great opportunity, a lot of bang for the buck, and the Homestead campus is fitted with a very special TV studio, and we are in the progress of upgrading everything we're going to be working with in HD. And by popular request, we're also going to be employing some student makeup artists along that line also. So to make everyone look good.
Excellent.
Excellent. All right, Mayor, I have to admit, I was up in the Palmetto Bay area and was in discussion with the constituents of the area, and they were raving about our school and down here in Miami-Dade Community College Homestead. They said, you guys do not know what you have down there. There's some great programs in there. So I thank you, Mr. Thomas, and for coming out here and sharing this with us. And we'll make sure we get the word out for you. So thank you.
Our next item on the agenda is Keysgate Charter School Student FCAT Certificate of Recognition. And where is Mrs.?
Mayor, thank you.
You're welcome.
Education. We're getting ready for this new year. It's going to be a great year in Homestead. With that, I would like to thank everyone who's out here today, and I want to, today I want to recognize Keysgate Charter School. The Florida Comprehensive Assessment Test is administered to the students in grades 3 through 11, approximately 200,000 students per grade. The FCAT measures the Sunshine State standards in reading and mathematics, grade 3 through 10th, sciences, grade 5, 8th, and 11th, and writing grades 4, 8, and 10th. We're here to recognize students that did great in FCAT this past years. These students scored perfectly in the section of the FCAT exam. All 3 students, and we're recognizing 3 students, are in the 3rd grade and attend Keysgate Charter School. Isabella, well, this is, come here, Judy. She's up here for a reason, so come on up here.
I gotta put it down here. Sorry. This is my little sweetheart right here. Do you want to tell him what you did? You stopped me in the grocery store? You want to tell him?
I saw, my mom told, we were shopping for groceries, and then my mom told me that Judy Wallman was there, and I'm like...
I'm always there at the grocery store.
And then I went up and introduced myself and showed that I was from Keysgate Charter.
I messed her hair up, sorry. Go ahead. And what else did you tell me?
That I got a perfect score on the FCAT.
And do you remember what I told you?
You gave me a card.
And I told you to call me. And I went ahead and took the initiative because I wanted to make sure that the children, I mean, if they're that excited and what an accomplishment. And one day she's going to be not only vice mayor, maybe mayor.
She can be mayor.
So I'm so proud of you, Isabel, and there's other children that Councilman Maldonado will recognize. And if I can get this thing open, I have a little something for you.
And while she's opening that little gift, the principal of Charter School, Robin Sandler, provided us with the names of 2 additional students whom also scored perfectly in the portion of the exam. I believe, and excuse me for if I pronounce it correctly, Meiling Katayong. And is she here? No? Okay. Aww. And Sydney Gori. All right, here she is. Let's give her a hand.
No, come here, Isabella. Don't go.
And they all scored perfect scores. And Isabella did it in reading, and Sydney did it in math. Congratulations, and this goes to show the great work that Keysgate Charter School is doing. Thank you, Mrs. Sandler, for the excellent work that you're doing at Keysgate Charter School. Keep up the good work, and we look forward to that new high school coming about as well.
Ditto.
Keep talking for a second.
And if I may, Elvis, tonight on the news before I came to the meeting, I caught the early news, and it showed Coral Gables in a tug of war over a new charter school. They had as many fighting to see it not open, as many fighting to see it open. And here, your council and your community welcomed the new charter school with open arms, and we'll have it come August.
We also have for these young ladies here a certificate of recognition. I'll read one, and it says, the certificate of recognition. This certificate is awarded to Isabella Capote and, of course, Sydney, how do I say your last name? Gori? All right. And in recognition of your outstanding accomplishment of a perfect score for the FCAT reading and math, The city of Homestead salutes you. Congratulations. There you go. Let's stand behind the podium so we can get a picture.
I just wanted to tell you what I just penned on them. As all of you know, I love angels, and I see a lot of my angels here tonight, but I gave them each little angel pins for a guardian, so they'll have a guardian angel over them. Okay? I don't have to bend down.
Take it.
And now we're going to be cutting heads off.
Yeah, I don't have to bend down at all. It's the first time I've ever been the tallest one in the picture.
I think Mom wants to get a picture as well.
Oh, Mom wants to get a picture. Okay.
You got it? You got a picture?
You could come up here.
Yeah, sure. Come on up.
Actually, we want to say congratulations to the parents, because
Yes.
without the parents, these children wouldn't be here today.
That is great.
Okay. Mayor Bateman wanted you to bring this back up.
Okay. And yes, please. Take a congratulations as well. Thank you, girls.
Thank you, girls.
This is like one of my favorite presentations I've ever done. I love surprises. So Bill Duquette, you want to come up here? He thinks he's here to honor me. I'm going to pay for this, I know. Bill Duquette is the Chief Executive Officer of Homestead Hospital, a role he assumed in August of 2006. Prior to being tapped as CEO, Bill Duquette served in various administration positions over his 15 years with the hospital, including Administrative Director of Laboratory Services, Performance Improvement Coordinator, and most recently, the Vice President of Operations. He has more than 27 years' experience in healthcare administration. During his tenure at Homestead Hospital, Mr. Duquette has led efforts to get the laboratory accredited and has overseen quality improvement initiatives that have made the hospital a local and national leader for following specific standards of patient care. He has also been responsible for the hospital's compliance and the Joint Commission on Accreditation of Healthcare Organizations, which recently granted the hospital full accreditation, and that's a big deal, for another 3 years. With an early career background in medical technology and laboratory medicine, Mr. Duquette is a licensed clinical laboratory supervisor and certified, I didn't know that. I know, Jimmy said in case this gig doesn't work out, he's got something to fall back on. And certified by the American Society of Clinical Pathologists as a medical technologist. In addition to his hospital leadership, Mr. Duquette is active in the community. He is a board member of the Greater Miami and the Keys chapter of the American Red Cross and was awarded in 2005 the Clara Barton Volunteer Award, one of the organization's highest honors. Bill Duquette also is a member of the Homestead Civitan Club, the Homestead Florida City Chamber of Commerce, and the Homestead South Aid Red Cross Council, for which he is a past chairman. Bill Duquette is a graduate of the University of Miami and received a master's degree in public health from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. He's going to have a head this big tomorrow. And he and his wife Gladys. Gladys, are you here tonight? Where's Gladys? Oh, she couldn't make it. Well, she probably didn't know what was going on. Live in the Redland and have a grown daughter. But now I just want to say something from my heart. I wanted to thank Bill because not only has he been my friend, I don't even know for how long, forever and ever and ever, but he's such a good person, and the hospital embraced, and I see Jill in the audience, the hospital embraced Relay for Life 2 years ago. And that's where we have our relay now, and they work so hard. All the hospital staff, they all participate, but this is the man behind so much, and he does so much for this community, and I truly love him. He's a brother to me, and they usually don't let us sit together because we get in trouble. I'll tell you one quick story. The vision that I have of Bill when I see him in a meeting and he's being so serious is one year at Halloween when he and Lori dressed up as Sonny and Cher. And he came out on his knees, and Lori's, got the long hair, and Bill, it was the perfect Sonny. So that's why I see you guys when I see you in the hallway. But I'm a great supporter of the hospital. I'm a charter member of the Pineapple Gala. I think 12 years we've been doing it. And always there, always active. So, Bill, I thank you. I just want to honor you. I know I'm going to honor you with something here.
It's right here.
Oh. You want to do it? With sincere appreciation to William Duquette for your, what does that say? My glasses. For your untiring dedication and many contributions to the community and its citizens, July 10th, Mayor and Council, City of Homestead. And thank you, Bill, for always, always, always supporting our community and giving back. And we have a fine hospital, and we should be so proud. And I'd like for the hospital staff that came tonight and friends of Bill's to stand up. And just remember that when you go to that hospital, you have people that really care, and they do their very best with what, the population, the amount of people that go there, but I'm telling you, they're there for you, and they're there for this community, so thank you, Bill.
Oh, thank you, Judy.
You're welcome.
Can I say a few words?
Sure.
This is really unnecessary, but thank you, Judy. Homestead and South Aid should be very honored and happy to have a really high-quality institution, medical facility in its midst. We have a great employee staff. Many of them are here, and I'm going to get back at you guys tomorrow for keeping this a secret from me. We have
hear your speech about me.
We have a great medical staff. Dr. Trashakovic, one of the premier surgeons in Miami-Dade County, is kind of here too. So, volunteers, I won't go through the litany of all the great things that are going on in the hospital, but I thank you guys, Mayor, City Council members.
Thank you, Bill.
Sergio, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
And I do have to say also, Judy has been a huge supporter of the hospital. As she mentioned, she was a foundation, and she is a foundation member of our gala for many, many, many years since its inception. And, we're here, we're part of the community. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Bill, so much.
He's telling me what to do.
Thank you.
Treadmill. I wanted to know what happened to my foot. I said exercise and housework will kill people. So, with that being said. Okay, Mayor, may I?
Please, by all means, keep.
The next presentation I have are for our volunteers for the 4th of July. And I'm going to tell you something. If you didn't go to the 4th of July fireworks, you missed it, because it was great. We had a great time. Bye, thank you. But we couldn't have done it without so many volunteers and so many people just lending a hand. So Eric, where's Eric? Eric is the man of the hour. Eric, I'm going to turn this, I'm going to ask you to help me with this and turn this over. But first of all, we have some vocals. We had a group singing, and are the girls here? Erica and Annalisa? Here they go. We had some wonderful entertainment, and I've invited them to come forward tonight and just sing a little bit of what they sang the night of 4th of July. I hope you enjoy it.
All right.
I'm going to hang on to Eric.
Well, there were actually 4 of us, but 2 of them were unable to come tonight, so we just decided to sing tonight. It's just the 2 of us.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, do you want to do prosthetics march? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Drums, Here it comes. Don't you wish your life could be as simple as fish swimming round in a barrel when you've got the gun or wanna run? Here it comes. We're just two little figures in a simple, trying to get the other kind of control, but I wasn't one. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nights go out and I can't be saved. Tides that I tried to swim against put me down upon my knees. Oh, I beg and please, singing, come out of things unsaid. Shoot an apple off my head and a trouble that can't be named. Tigers wade into their tame, singing, you are, you are. Confusion never stops, closing walls and ticking clocks. Gonna come back and take you home. I could not stop that you now know, singing, come out upon my sins, curse missed opportunities. Am I a part of the cure, or am I part of the disease? Singing, you are, you are home, home where I wanted to go, home, home where I wanted to go, you home where I wanted to go, home, home where I wanted to go.
Good job.
Didn't they do great? This is Anna's little girl, right here. They made me cry every time they sing. But anyway, you did a great job. They have their little angels on too. And thank you so much for everything. They donated their time, and just stay up here with us. So we're gonna, Eric's gonna take over. Eric's our events coordinator, and he did a lot of work.
Good evening. Again, for some of you that don't know me, my name is Eric Weiss. I'm one of the newest members of the city. Proud to be part of this team. One of my goals is to have more than just one fan say they had a great time on 4th of July. But I got one so far. That's something to build on. I'd like to take this time to recognize some of the people that helped me put on a successful event. I personally couldn't have done it myself. So at this time, I'd like to recognize some of these people. At this time, I'd like to call up Dennis Maytan. Next, James Laurent.
You cannot guess him.
Stephanie Abate. She's not here, okay. Adelina Bello.
Adelina.
Brittany Baronis. Not here?
sang a song for us too.
Okay, she's not here. Resting her vocals. Gary Clayton. Not here. Tommy Deloach. Not here. Carrie Floody, she's here.
Hey. Carrie.
Michael Hayes. Loretta Marcicano. She's the lady that sung the national anthem. She's not here. Dorian McKnight. Ralph Mazzell. Bernardo Montanard. Joseph Mascata. Jackie Pickington.
Hey, Jackie.
Gregory Romo. Alvin Smith. Leroy Smith. John Thomas. Terry Warren. Sherelle Williamson. Orly Zamar. Jack Weiss, which is my father. He's in Cincinnati right now. Last but not least, this person kind of went up and above and beyond. She's not really an employee, but she acts like one. She's on our tourism board, but she's not being paid for this event. Just a short story, I went to the gas station and seen these flyers. I thought it was pretty typical Homestead. I go to Color Ridge and see the flyers and I'm saying, wow, she really got around. This time I'd like to recognize Stacy Palmer. You're welcome on my team anytime. Again, I just want to thank all of you guys for helping me and putting this event on, being a success. I know I got more than one vote, but again, thank you.
Eric,
Steve.
I'd like to say on behalf of the mayor and council, job well done. And I'll tell you, there being a new member, a new employee, every one of those young ladies who came up there gave you a kiss.
I hope my wife is not watching.
Good job. Job well done, employees.
Thank you.
I have a couple more. I want to ask our representative chief from the Homestead Police Department, because let me tell you something, without the police department that night, I don't know what we would have done. I mean, they were just terrific. So I have an award here for the Homestead Police and also the Fraternal Order of Police. So if someone would like to come up and accept these. Captain Kent and Chief Roll.
Thank you, Chief.
I'll just give them both to you, Kim. I'm very upset because I have one last award to present, but sometimes we get so busy and we forget certain things, and I really want Anna to come up here. Come on. And I guarantee you, she will have an award, because without this woman, I mean, she worked night and day. We were literally on the phone at midnight and 11 o'clock, and for a solid week. I mean, she was just there. She did everything, and she was just wonderful. And I love you, Anna, and we're really, really blessed to have her.
It's a great group.
And the last award I have is for Eric. Where is he? With sincere appreciation to Eric Weiss for your outstanding efforts and dedication in making our 4th of July event a great success. Now, let me just tell you something. We had nowhere to have the 4th of July. We couldn't have it at the baseball stadium. We weren't going to have anything this year. And within, what, 3 weeks? We went to the racetrack, we pulled it together, and we pulled some really long hours, let me tell you, but it was all worth it. And Eric, he was brand new on the scene, and I've known Eric for years. Actually, I was his team mother for his baseball team. But he's a great guy, and I just want you to know how much I appreciate him and how lucky we are to have him in our city. And you're going to be seeing lots of events going on in Lobster Park, at the community center. I mean, he's everywhere. So, Eric, thank you very much. If we could just get a quick little picture.
And saying that we have another Moving to Park, August 13th, at Losner Park. Will be our next showing. And it's
Thank
free.
you so much, Eric. Thank you.
Okay, so we get a quick picture. Bachelorette's on tonight.
That's why she's trying to leave early. I gotta go early, she says. And what item did we cut out of here where's the item we cut out for the, is that 7?
12 and 19, with the airport owners and the rest of them.
12 and 19.
Packed house to nothing.
I hear you, bro. They either stay because it's for the good, or they stand because of the bad. Let's give it a minute or two. Chili come back. Okay, we'll move out of the fun stuff and back to business. Number 2, consent agenda. Motion to move the...
I'll move the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you, second, thank you. Questions or comments? Hearing none, seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries. City Attorney, public hearing ordinances?
Yes, please be advised the following item on the agenda is quasi-judicial in nature. If you wish to comment upon this item, please indicate the item number you would like to address when the announcement regarding the quasi-judicial item is made. An opportunity for persons to speak on this item will be made available after the applicant and staff has made their presentations on this item. Swearing in. All testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Additionally, each person who gives testimony may be subject to cross-examination. If you do not wish to be either cross-examined or sworn, your testimony will be given its due weight. The general public will not be permitted to cross-examine witnesses, but the public may request the council to ask questions of staff or witnesses on their behalf. The full agenda packet on this item is hereby entered into the record, and persons representing organizations must present evidence of their authority to speak for the organization. Further details of the quasi-judicial procedures may be obtained from the clerk. In accordance with Code Section 2-591, any lobbyist must register before addressing the council on the following item. At this time, council members must disclose any ex parte communications they've had concerning this agenda item. Hearing none at this time, the clerk will swear in any persons who wish to testify on the following item.
Please stand, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name, hereby swear or affirm that the information I present shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. City Attorney at tab 11, you want to read the body of it for me? Thank you, sir.
Okay. James, you want to read the title of that?
Yes, final order of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting a certificate of use to allow the operation of a package store with the sale of beer, wine, and liquor for off-premise consumption located at 3020 Northeast 41st Terrace as legally described in Exhibit A and providing for an effective date.
Move it.
Thank you. Second, thank you. Staff report?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, if you recall, this item came before you at the June 21st agenda. The item was postponed to today's date certain because the main reason for that postponement was that they were missing their lobbyist registration. So, and they were missing also.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The attorney already went through their location, so I'm not going to get into that. The hours of operations that they're proposing is compliant with the current code, and that's Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. through until 11 p.m. Excuse me. Friday from 8 a.m. till 1 a.m. On Saturday from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. and on Sunday from 12 noon to 8 p.m. as recently adopted by the code, by this body. The business is a new business, and it's in the Waterstone Plaza Shopping Center. Most of all know. The site is currently zoned B, retail commercial, B2. And the unit is presently vacant. I understand that they have been working intensively in it, and there are some pictures that define what it looks like today. With that, what the application is for a certificate of use. We're recommending approval. We feel it complies with all the applicable code regulations. So,
thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Questions from council? Any questions from council? Hearing none. At this time, I'll open the public hearing. Anyone who'd like to speak in favor or in support of the application, please come to the podium. Name and address, sir, for the record. Yes, sir.
My name is Anthony Alvarez. I'm a lobbyist. I'm also their attorney. And basically, my clients want to invest in this community. And they're also thinking about investing in other properties. And I believe with this troubling economy, it generates business and also jobs. And I don't see anything detrimental to the community. It doesn't create any nuisance. It's a purchase. It's not consumption on site, it's consumption off premises. So basically, we're asking that it be approved for a certificate of use.
Thank you, sir. Anyone would like to speak in opposition? Seeing none, hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Final comments from council. Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Woolman?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, moving on to your legislative items. Tab 12 is deferred until September 22nd. Moving on to tab 13, it's the second reading of an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the City Code of Ordinances by amending Chapter 16, Local Business Taxes and Business Regulations, Article 2, Local Business Tax Receipts, Section 16-39, Local Business Tax Receipt Inspection Fee, to amend and clarify the amount of inspection fees and the applicable timeframes for re-inspections, providing for severability, inclusion in the code, conflicts and providing for an effective date. This is second reading.
Motion?
Second, Mayor.
Second, thank you. Staff report?
Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, we have extensively discussed this before. Pertains to the current, the fact that the current fee of $30 per inspection no longer covers the cost of the actual going out and doing the inspection. So this would just bring us up to speed with the inspections, what it costs, the actual cost, the city to pay for those inspectors to come out and do the inspection. So we're just recovering our expense.
Thank you, sir. Questions from council? Hearing no questions from council, I'll open the public hearing. Would anyone like to speak in favor? Anyone speak in opposition? I'll close the public hearing. Final questions from council? Hearing none, seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilwoman Lopez?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Woolman?
Yes.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tab 14, second reading.
Thank you, Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending Article 2, Dangerous Intersection Safety of Chapter 18, Motor Vehicles and Traffic of the City of Homestead Code of Ordinances, providing for recorded image monitoring and enforcement of red light traffic control signals consistent with general law as provided by Chapter 2010-80 Laws of Florida, 2010, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for savings, ratification, and reservation of rights, providing for an effective date of July 1, 2010. Second reading.
Move it, Mayor.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Okay, questions from council? Hearing none, I'll open the public hearing. Questions from the public? In favor?
Edward Powell, 2274 Southeast 27th Drive, Homestead. I like the idea of the red light. I hope we have more of them and many intersections. I don't know what day goes by that somebody doesn't run a red light. One thing, if you ever come to any of the red light running code meetings, a lot of people will say, when I turn right, that doesn't mean I have to stop. Red turn on right. Well, folks, that does not mean that when you come up to an intersection and it turns red and you're going to make a right-hand turn that you don't have to stop. You stop, you look, there's no traffic, you turn. The people that keep continuously turn, they get a ticket. And you'll notice our little indication signs now say includes right turns. And I hope we see many more of these in town. I hope we're making money from them. And I hope we solve some of the situations we have in town. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone that would like to speak in opposition? Hearing none, seeing none. Close the public hearing. Any final question from council?
Mayor?
Yes.
I'd just like to make a little note there, just for everyone. I've had many people approach me and say, we got, try to explain the situation. I said, listen, come here and they'll handle it. But my advice is that there is a white line, come to a full stop, count 3 seconds, 5 seconds if you have to, and then proceed. But please, once you get to the light, do not just stay there. There's people who will not move because I beat the horn the other day and it's like, he pointed at the camera and said, I'm not moving. And so it's okay to move forward. Just come to complete stop before the light, and then move forward. You'll be okay. I do it all the time. So
you know the old saying, the pendulum has swung the other way, now it's stuck.
They are not moving for nothing. So please work with us on that, people.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions from council?
No.
Okay, roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Woolman?
Yes.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lopez?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Second reading, tab 15.
Thank you, Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the City of Homestead Code of Ordinances by amending Section 23.5-6, trash, yard, and garden waste, non-combustible refuse, white goods, and non-polluting industrial waste disposal of Chapter 23.5, solid waste, providing for semi-monthly bulk trash collection, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Motion?
Motion? was
Thank you,
on.
sir. Second, thank you. Staff report?
It does sound a lot more complicated than what it really is.
I only want to hear one thing. What is the date?
The dates have been posted and the cards have been sent out. All that has been clarified.
Okay.
So
We won't quiz you again tonight.
What this just do, Mr. Mayor, it's just bringing up to date the current code to reflect the bi-monthly pickup.
Okay. Any questions from council?
Mayor?
Yes.
I know we've done what we consider to be an extensive education of the people, but today was my day for solid waste pickup, and evidently nobody in my neighborhood got the note, because we've got piles of trash, of yard debris that are 10 feet high at about every other house, because the association in the last week or two sent out notices about yards that needed work. So I don't know how to do it, how to stress to people, but we've got to educate them and get some more information out there. And I know today was the first day. They came last Monday, and I saw people putting piles out there as I was walking my dog or whatever yesterday. I said, they're not coming tomorrow. And they said, well, it's Monday. And they had a pile, and they said, it's too late, it's already there. I said, well, it's going to be there for a week. And some of the comments weren't too good because, oh, I was never told. I said, well, it came in a bill, it was here, it was there. So we need to really focus on maybe resending things out, or looking at maybe a little different way of doing it. Because
maybe we should approach directly the associations and have a question-answer session with them individually.
that, or I'm not sure, but I'm sure that there's going to be other sections of the town that fall under the same problems eventually.
Thank you.
So just to...
Thank you. Mr. Shelley.
I just had, it's related to the bulk trash more so than this actual ordinance, but I just want to follow up. I know we discussed about fixing those potholes in the northwest neighborhood. Can you give me a quick update while we're on the subject? And
we have been diligently fixing those potholes. Our streets department has been out there on a daily basis doing so. I'll ask my assistant manager to give you more of an update, because he's the one that oversees that.
And can I encourage the residents that if they haven't got a pothole filled, to call your office?
Please.
Or mine, you can call me as well, but go straight to the manager, so that's all, thank you.
Yes, by all means. Go ahead, Julio.
Well, I think you mentioned it rather well. We are working on it right now. We're every day out there filling potholes, so if anybody has one in particular that they want to take advantage of the situation, just go ahead and call us up, and we'll take care of it. We'll make sure, but we're going block by block, basically doing that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think that somewhere I was given an update. There was like 100 and something potholes filled, or?
That was in the bi-weekly report that you get from my office.
It was hundreds.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
Mayor, a question?
Yes, please.
And I know nobody here works the machine, but those potholes occur on the northwest side. How come I don't see them on my side of town with the same machine and same equipment? I don't think the people are going out there digging them themselves, you know, and to put their trash in them. So I think we need to maybe also have a talk with the operators, because, I mean, they're using the exact same equipment in my side of town that they use on his side of town. But I don't have 150 potholes or whatever the count may be that the mayor just said.
Maybe it has to do with how old the subdivision is. Older part of towns have, I don't know.
I mean, I've never seen them, right, but I mean, I've never had to go fill one in or seen one filled on the east side of town, so I don't know maybe what it is, but maybe there's a different guy that works that side of town than this side of town. Maybe do a retrain or something, but.
There's no potholes in the villages.
He means the yard potholes, yeah.
Right.
Okay. I was thinking about road potholes.
Yeah, no, the yard, we're digging, I mean, if you go through the northwest, there's big swells that are dug
We'll
out.
investigate it, and if we need to, we'll send them to anger management.
I mean, I just don't understand it. We don't have them on one side of town, the other side of town looks like a big war zone.
We'll look into that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further?
I think the assistant city manager has something to say.
Sure, go ahead, sir.
well, actually, by the fact that we're going now to bi-weekly, it has helped us in a sense to be able to rotate the crews for that very purpose, to make sure that, you know, we identify if there is somebody that's operating the equipment in the wrong fashion, or so we can figure it out and take either more training, et cetera, to make sure that they're up to.
Don't rotate, don't put that guy on the east side. Okay. All right, any further questions? I'll open the public hearing. Any questions from the public on this particular yard trash issue? Okay, hearing none, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. And at this time, any further questions from council? Hearing none, seeing none, roll call vote.
Vice Mayor Woolman,
Yes.
Councilmember Burgess,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lopez,
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado,
Yes.
Councilman Shelley,
Yes.
Mayor Bateman.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tab 16, first reading.
Thank you, Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending Section 2-411, purchasing limitations of Division 2 competitive bids of Article 8, contracts and purchasing of Chapter 2 administration of the City of Homestead Code of Ordinances, providing for a greater preference for local business in city procurements, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date. First reading.
Be happy to move this, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Second.
Staff report. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, the ordinance is pretty self-explanatory. What it's doing is increasing the competitive procurement process from and giving the local businesses preference, bringing that from a 5% that we currently allocate to them when we're reviewing the submittals, increasing that to a 10%. So that the local businesses have a greater chance of getting that bid that they submit.
Okay, this is something I was very proud to move forward. I think it's very appropriate for our local community and our local stores, shops, and contractors. At this time, any questions from council?
Mayor, I have a question.
Please.
If I remember correctly, at the last, I believe it was the Committee of the Whole, it was mentioned that the 10% previously existed. Is that correct? Was that what was stated?
It was 5%.
So it has always been 5%?
No, it was 10% in 1995. I know when I came on council, because I created it in 1995 at 10%. And then somehow from 95 till, I guess when I came back, it was 5%, it got reduced.
Do we know, and so my question is, since it was stated, do you know what year it changed from 10% back down to 5%?
I do not have that information. Do you guys know in procurement? When was that?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. Right now, I don't recall when it was changed to 5%.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions from council? At this time, I'll open the public hearing. Questions from the public? If anybody would like to input on the 10% reduction for all local? Anyone who'd like to speak in opposition? Hearing none, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Final comments from council?
Just one quick one.
Sure.
Do we know how many contracts this would have affected in the past for local businesses? Or any idea like that maybe you guys have lost out? Not important if nobody knows.
It's hard to say. Whenever we have identified, at least during my tenure, whenever we had identified a local contractor or subcontractor, we have made sure that they get that 5% preference. And to some degree, we have brought before you, local preference in many respects. So to say how many, as to if this were 10%, if this had been 10%, it's hard to say. I can look back and tell you.
That's all right. I was just wondering if we had.
Just wondering how close he's right, out-of-towner was to in-town. Was it 5% that they lost by, or I know what he's saying.
I can get you that information. I can go back.
Sorry, it's irrelevant at this point. I was just wondering if we, when we were looking at all this, if it had come up and, said, yeah,
I didn't want to open that.
Amount. I hear you. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, sir. Roll call vote?
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lopez?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Warman?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay. Next item.
Yes, moving on to tab 17, it's the first reading of an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting the request of Homestead 14 Land Trust for a small-scale amendment to the comprehensive plan by changing the land use designation of an approximately 6.7-acre site from medium-density residential use MRU to light commercial LCU, located south of Campbell Drive and northwest of Northeast 5th Street, as legally described in Exhibit A, and providing for an effective date.
Entertain a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. A staff report?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of the City Council. This is a 6.7-acre site located south of Campbell Drive. It's approximately 300 feet from Campbell, with an egress and ingress from Campbell as well on one side. The site is currently vacant and is presently zoned B1 Restricted Retail Commercial District and R3 Multiple Apartments District. Its future land use designation as it stands right now is medium density residential use. The applicant is requesting the small-scale amendment to allow commercial use on the property. There's always been a change in the development trend in that general area, and therefore they're responding to that trend. In our opinion, we feel that the light commercial use is appropriate in this case. It's consistent with a lot of the abutting uses. As you all know, it's abutting property that is presently land use designated the same way. And we are at this. The application went to the Planning and Zoning Board, where it received a favorable recommendation to this body. We also reviewed it at the staff level through the DRC Development Review Committee, and we're hereby recommending that you approve it.
Questions from council? There are no questions from council. I'll open
No,
the-
I do. I'm sorry,
Okay,
sir. I was trying
Yes,
to confer
please.
with you.
Go, Mr. Burgess.
I'm okay with a land use change here, but I'm not, a couple.
All of you, come on.
Because of the size of the property involved. If it's under 10 acres, it's a small scale. Beyond 10 acres, it becomes a regular amendment. So they are, I know that they are getting ready to submit a rezoning application and a site plan, potentially. Or a rezoning application without a site plan. But at the site plan level, they would, I would request that they, and this is at the site plan level, let me make sure clear that there is a distinction. At the site plan level, we can, they can proffer a covenants or a development agreement whereby they exclude uses such as the ones you just mentioned.
Right. The reason I bring it up is I wouldn't support that as they go down the line, so I don't want them possibly spending their money and then come back with that plan and have myself and maybe if anybody else is uncomfortable, if I'm able to sway them against it. So I'm just saying, putting it on the record tonight, I understand where we're at in the process, but I'm letting them know that I'm not for a hotel or more, or B2 out over there. I'd rather see some B1 and B1A. So I'm letting the applicant know that so that he's aware of where I stand on this property.
Yes, please, Mr. Shelley.
Thank you, Mayor.
Respond? Were you going to respond? Or-
No, he just finished his comment.
Okay.
As I said, I'm going to make sure that your comments are, you know, I'm going to note those comments and through this development process. It's too early at this stage.
Yeah.
But I will make sure that those carry over, and at the time that maybe they can proffer those covenants or restrict those uses at the time of rezoning. They just need to proffer those themselves. It cannot be a condition of the approval. Same with the site plan. It has to be a proffer. But if they, and if with your permission, if they're here, if they have an issue with that, they will say so. Otherwise, I will work from this point forward with them to make sure that that makes it through.
We'll get to that. Mr. Shelley.
I just had a kind of follow up with what Councilman Burgess stated, and that was, we had a similar application that came through. They wanted B2, and I did have a similar concern about having it be behind light commercial, because is the front portion B1? So this would be a more intense use than behind a less intense use, similar to the other project.
The north side is B1.
Correct. Okay. So that would be I have a similar concern. I would be, and I guess my question would be either for the city manager or for the city attorney, and that would be, as far as any kind of claim they would make, is this the time that we need to address whether it's going to be B1, B2, or is this simply laying the groundwork, and then we'll have what are their rights then to demand it should be B2 versus B1 versus anything else?
This is just the land use designation, which allows within that land use designation in your comprehensive plan. It's implemented by a number of different zoning classifications. Among them is the B1. It's also implemented by the B1A, the R4, and the B2 zoning districts.
I was just going to say, I think you're making the legislative record now. Once you change this property, you will have to give it a zoning designation that's consistent with the light commercial, which would either be B1A, B1, or B2. But given the fact that the property to the north and the property to the west is designated B1, I think when they come in, that you all would be well within, it's going to be a quasi-judicial hearing, so the procedure's a little differently, but I think given the fact that you're voicing your concerns now, given the fact that the surrounding property is B1, all that would be taken into, you all to take into consideration.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, anything else from council? Okay, let's move forward, open the public hearing, and of course, we'll speak in favor first. Yes, sir, name and address.
Hello, Mayor Bateman,
Yes, sir.
Vice Mayor Waldman, and council members. Pleasure to be here in front of you today. I'm Larry Abbo of Prime Group, and I'm here representing Homestead 14. My address is 4651 Sheridan Street, Suite 480, Hollywood, Florida. The application that is before you is really a direct response of the changes that have occurred in the marketplace, and certainly originally it was contemplated as residential use, and actually before then it was a similar land use as is being applied for at this time. So it is reverting back to its original use. I want to say some 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 5. We have been working together with staff as well as council members in seeking the direction that seems more consistent with the intended uses for this corridor. I will tell you that it is not our intent to put a hotel on this site, so hopefully that alleviates some concerns. And we believe that a B1 zoning application would be the most appropriate, not B2. But that is something that's to be considered through the zoning process. Nonetheless, I simply wanted to communicate to you our current intent, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Mr. Shelley.
Not really, yeah, thank you, Mayor. Not really any questions per se, but I was on P&Z when this came through, and it originally was going to be a mixed use, and then it was going to be commercial out front, residential in the back.
Correct.
So I'm happy to see this coming forward and all being light commercial versus having that residential component. So I just want to thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It's just a administrative matter that we're gonna resolve.
Of the company these days?
Excuse me. Thank you. Sorry. Any further questions of the applicant? Okay. Anything you would like to say further?
It's just my pleasure to be here in Homestead, and I appreciate all of the efforts that you're putting forth to make this a wonderful city. You'll be hearing something else about the CDBG, and I'm very grateful that it's finally gotten to the point that we can build that roadway and hopefully give better service and better access to the people that are visiting the city. We hope to contribute more in the future, and we're working fast at it.
And what do you think about that town trolley running right by the front of that hotel?
I think that's phenomenal. But we're working to fill in also the gaps and uses of land directly in front and adjacent to the hotel with some additional uses that hopefully will be looked upon favorably by you, and we'll certainly run them through several of you, if not all, before we even present them.
Thank you very much.
So thanks for all of your assistance. We really greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you, and thank you what you do
times.
for Homestead. You know, it's been a big asset, big help. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Any further questions from council?
Just one. Seeing who now owns the property, I believe it would be a first-class project when it's done, so thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the vote of confidence, and we won't let you down.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else would like to speak in favor or opposition of this item? It's a public hearing, it's now open. Seeing none, hearing none, it's now closed. Final questions are from council. Hearing none, seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Maldonado.
Yes.
Councilman Shelley.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Woolman.
Yes.
Councilman Burgess.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos.
Yes.
Mayor Baton.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item 18.
Thank you, Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the city code by amending Chapter 2, Administration, at Article 9, Finance, Division 5, Service Charges, by amending Section 2530, Information on City Liens, providing for increase in service charge for providing information on city liens, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in code, providing for an effective date. First reading of the ordinance.
Motion to move forward.
Move it.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Okay, staff report.
Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, what's before you is the effort of our city clerk. She discovered that the city is charging a flat fee in many cases for multiple searches that are attached to one folio number, and therefore we're not recuperating our costs in the process. What the ordinance does is it will bring, you know, in the cases where we have one request that involves one folio number but with multiple units within it, where your search is much greater, it makes that adjustment. So, and there is the ordinance itself explains when the different scenarios are in terms of the cost.
Thank you, sir. Questions from council?
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, Ms. Lobos.
I understand the second part, which is included in the packet. The beginning of that paragraph says a new procedure is more involved and it requires additional staff to complete. What does that mean? In the first page, on below recommendation is the background.
My understanding is that there were the process of lien searches has the procedure to search for lien searches, to do lien searches, I should say, it's more cumbersome now than what it used to be. In recent, I guess, in the way we did the searches, it got a little bit more complicated and more time consuming, and the changes that we're making pay for that additional time that we're spending. Does that answer?
How did it change? I guess I'm saying, do we have new technology? Usually when you implement new technology, the process gets easier. So I'm trying to understand how the process was more involved. Is it legally we have to spend more time? Like what changed to make it more complicated?
You mind?
One thing that I think we're aware of is that the city is making greater efforts to preserve and document liens on those property that have unpaid service charges and various other fees owed to the city.
Okay, any further questions from council?
Mayor?
Yes.
I also think that thank you, Mayor. I also think that, that they're doing it under one folio number, which could be multiple units under one folio number, which is the reason, and that's why I talked to some of the clerks as we were interviewing, and I think Sherry will remember, we talked about this, and I had actually, encouraged them to investigate, and I appreciate, Elizabeth, that you did it, and you can see how many inquiries and what we do a month. So that's where the time constraint comes in. To answer Ms. Loba's question, is that there's many lien searches under one folio number,
And we were charging one flat fee, which
was
didn't cover
ridiculous.
the time spent.
Okay. Any further questions from council? At this time, we'll open the public hearing. Any questions from the public? Hearing none, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Final questions from council. Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Vice Mayor Woolman,
Yes.
Councilman Burgess,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos,
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado,
Yes.
Councilman Shelley,
Yes.
Mayor Bateman.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, we're skipping, 19 has been pulled. 20.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, adopting the proposed millage rate for ad valorem taxation for real and personal property within said city.
Motion?
Move it, Mayor.
Thank you. Second?
Second it.
Thank you, Mr. Maldonado. Staff report.
Mr. Mayor, it's pretty much self-explanatory. This is what we sent out to state to establish the ceiling rate, and that we're at this time proposing that it remains the same as your current ad valorem rate at 6.2917.
Okay, thank you. Yes, counsel.
I just so I understand the process, I know I've observed this from the outside, now I'm sitting up here having to do this myself. So I know in the past, they usually bring forth prior to a proposed millage rate of some kind. Now that is the cap, correct? That is the highest millage rate you can charge at that
Yes.
time, but you can go much lower.
Correct.
Now, is that what this is? This is essentially saying that this is the most we can charge for a millage rate, correct?
Typically, what cities do is that they go to a higher rate so that they establish that ceiling, and then you actually go with your you either go below where you currently are, or you go with what you currently have. But because this council has stated that made a promise to the residents that you will retain that 6.2917 rate. We don't want to raise questions. This will necessitate an explanation, which we can give, but so that there are no questions out there, we're proposing it at this level.
Follow up.
Sure.
My only, and again, I'm going to preface this kind of statement or comment, I should say, with to make sure I'm very, very clear. I have no intention, I don't want us to have to, I'm not advocating for any kind of tax or millage rate increase. However, my only concern is I've not seen any budget whatsoever at this point. I think there might have been some sort of a presentation on Friday, but I wasn't there, so I have not, me personally, have not seen any kind of budget whatsoever. So my only concern is that if we freeze this rate at this level and something happens that requires us, in order to balance our budget, to have to take some sort of drastic steps, we no longer have that option on the table. So that's the only thing that concerns me, because this means that if we can't balance our budget, then we're going to have to find some drastic way to keep the millage rate. We have no option, based on what I spoke with the attorney, to raise it at that point. We are stuck at this rate. So again, I'm not advocating at all that we should have to do that, and I'm putting it in your hands that it will not happen. But for me to support this, one of the things I need you to tell me is that you have seen the budget. So I want you to tell me that I'm not going to have to exceed this, that you have the budget under control. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but unfortunately for me to support this, I want to make sure that we don't need that safety cushion.
The more money, the higher the rate, the more money we bring in for revenue, and the easier we can pay for services. Typically, cities take the conservative approach, as you stated, and they go for the ceiling, and then by the time the budget cycle ends, they go with the lower rate. That's what it normally happens. The issue is that you have sent a message out there that you will maintain that rate at the current rate, and you by no means intend to change it. Now, I have seen the budget. I'm your city administrator. If I have my way, I'll have it a little higher. But you are the ones that respond to your constituents. It's two different roles. If I would have more money, obviously I would it would be easier. But you have made a commitment.
I don't think you're answering his question.
Yeah.
He's flat out, he's asking you, do you feel comfortable with the 6.21? Do you feel that this budget is going to be balanced?
I'm working hard on that, and the answer is yes. I have confidence that we can balance this budget.
Okay, because based on, again, on that, on your representations, that we are not going to need a cushion, you know, then I might can support this. But otherwise, you know, I'm going to think that we should probably give ourselves that cushion, knowing that we have no intention of ever going higher than this number right here. But in a case of emergency, again, we are, as I understand it, you know, we've been hit pretty hard with property tax value. So I just have concerns up here. I just want to make sure that we're not putting ourselves in a bad position going forward. We can always vote lower, and that would be the intention.
We're taking measures.
Okay.
We have been for a number of months now to reduce the impact on that next budget that you will be working on more intensively from this point forward. And as you will see, we have made serious changes throughout to get that balanced budget at the end of the day. So with that, I understand. I mean, clearly, where it's where
just one line.
Where we normally are, but again, we're sticking by that commitment, and we'll make it happen.
Okay.
I feel confident that we will.
And just one last again. Just in case I vote no on this, because I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to vote, I am no way advocating that I want to raise the millage rate. That's what I make sure that's not misconstrued, so thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I'm hoping that this has a cushion built into it, and that we're going to go lower. I've started looking at the line items that we were all given Friday, those of us that were there, so I too have some of the same questions that Councilman Shelley does, but if you're confident with this, that means there must be some fudge room in there, so we'll be able to beat you up even more.
There you go.
Thank you.
The reason for you receiving that so far in advance was, you know, it's never been anticipated that you're receiving that kind of information this early. But I wanted you to have it so that you can go over it with time and see where we are today. We started a lot higher. We started considerably higher, and we have brought it down a great deal. And I don't want to get into the details at this point, but I'm sure you'll be very satisfied when we have our first meeting, official meeting about the budget.
Too much information too early is dangerous too.
Yeah, amen. Because I got to tell you, on Friday, he seemed much more eager to tell us how close we were than he is tonight.
We are very close.
Yes. Yes, Ms. Lobos.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a question. A couple months ago, the Property Appraiser's Office did say that Homestead took a loss of revenue estimated at 20 or 30%. And so I'm looking at this millage rate that we're keeping the same, and if I'm reading it correctly, the 95% here that says that the 6.2917 will yield ad valorem revenue at 95%. Are you saying that at that, if we keep it at that rate, that we are at 95% of the revenue compared to last year?
Compared to this year.
So how does that, can you help me understand how that Property Appraiser's Office report reconciles with the fact that we can meet budget at this millage rate?
No, the 95% is the maximum amount of revenue that we can charge. In other words, based on the appraised value of the property, we can only expect to receive 95% of what we charge the millage against. We can't expect to receive 100%. Doesn't have anything to do with the comparison of last year. It's how the millage rate, how the property tax revenue is calculated. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make
Okay.
sense. I have a follow-up question,
Sure,
Mayor, if I
please,
may.
go ahead.
So considering the 20 to 30% loss of value of the properties within the city of Homestead, how does that compare to being comfortable keeping the millage rate at 6.2917?
I'm confident that we can balance that budget at that rate.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to open the public hearing. Anyone in the audience would like to speak on behalf of the public, in favor or against? Hearing none, seeing none. Back to council. Any final questions from council? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Councilman Shelley,
Oh, of course.
Vice Mayor Woolman,
I didn't get a chance to vote. I am going to vote no. I have confidence in the city manager that he's going to take care of it, so we have to not conclude anything any higher.
He
But
even faked me out there for a minute.
I am going to vote against it, no.
Go ahead.
Vice Mayor Woolman,
Yes.
Councilman Burgess,
I'll vote yes, but don't disappoint me.
Councilwoman Lobus,
Yeah, I mean, the city manager's on the hook. Yes.
I love it, yeah.
Councilman Maldonado,
Yes.
Mayor Bateman.
Yes, ma'am.
The motion carries.
Thank you. All right. 21.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, authorizing the acceptance of a right-of-way dedication from Via Portofino East Community Redevelopment District, authorizing the city manager and city attorney to take all action necessary to complete the dedication and acceptance of such real property, and providing an effective date.
Motion.
Move it, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Staff report? Quickly.
Mr. Mayor, members, Madam Vice Mayor, members of the City Council. This land transfer is a requirement of the CDBG grant agreement. It was entered into between the city and the CDD, the Development District, on July 31st, 2008. And it's required for grant approval, so I urge you to please move forward with this. It's just a transfer of the property so that we can proceed with the project.
Thank you, sir. Questions from council? Hearing none, seeing none. Open the public hearing. Questions from the public? Hearing none, seeing none. Closing the public hearing. Final questions from council? Okay, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Vice Mayor Woolman,
Yes.
Councilman Burgess,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobus, Councilman Maldonado,
Yes.
Councilman Shelley,
Yes.
Mayor Bateman.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 22.
Thank you, Mayor. Item tab 22, resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending Resolution 2009-12-142 concerning the comprehensive council meeting and agenda procedures by revising, updating, and restating provisions, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date, superseding Resolution 2009-12-142 on the same subject.
Motion to move.
Move it.
Thank you.
Second it.
Thank you, sir. Staff report?
Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, what this does is it changes our meeting days for council from the Mondays like today and at 7 o'clock to Wednesdays at 5:30. As you have seen over time, we have experienced an increasing time spent on presentations, exceeding the hour most of the time. And the meetings end up really late. I think that this measure ensures that you all will be present, being on a Wednesday. It also doesn't have any. It's better in the sense that it doesn't affect long weekends when you have a 4-day weekend and you have maybe plans and some of you may be out of town. Having to cut your vacation short to be here at a meeting it will make it a lot easier if it's on a Wednesday. And starting earlier, it just gives us the ability to, start the actual business at a much earlier time and hopefully be out of here sooner.
Well, I think I'll open the council remarks. I think it's great because, for one thing, it's going to help our staff, not, sitting here till 9 o'clock at night, and God bless them, they get to go home maybe at 7 o'clock at night instead. And two, we may end up moving the public comment back to where it was if we move the council along that quick, because at 5:30, we may not have some of the
And
public
you will
here.
have more time to review the documentation, not necessarily taking your Sunday, your Saturday, your weekend to
We get
review it.
presentations up front or something, Seem to always have quite a few of those.
Mayor, I have a comment.
Yes, Ms. Lewis.
Thank you. And, I agree with the time. I support it being moved up. I unfortunately can't support a Wednesday. We have a lot of organizations in the city that take into consideration that there's still a large portion of our population that every Wednesday night is in church because of Wednesday night Bible studies. I mean, that's just something that organizations throughout our city take into consideration. And I myself, putting the public first, but I myself, every Wednesday night, I am at church, and I am on Wednesday night Bible studies. So that would mean that that portion of my life would cease completely, as it would prevent a lot of people within the city of Homestead to participate in what is our one very public meeting where we look forward to public participation. So that's one of the reasons why I understand the wanting to move it earlier. I just think that Wednesdays will exclude a large portion of our population. Thank you.
Thank you. And we did look into that, and Councilman Williams, being the religious pastor that he is, he advised us that Tuesday night was the Bible study, pretty busy Bible study night. So that's why we moved it from Tuesday to Wednesday. So, I guess you got two different ways to look at it. But we did look at it. We did look into it, did we not? So, any further questions from council?
Mayor.
Yes, Mr. Burgess.
One concern that I hear over and over from people that are down here, applicants such as Mr. Abbo that's here tonight, or other people that sit here, is that we tell them 7 o'clock and it might be 9 o'clock before they get up there, and they're paying attorneys $500, $600, $700, $800 an hour to sit here. I know that the presentations are an important part of our meetings every month, but possibly if we went back to one presentation per person per meeting, that would ease their expense of sitting down here for an hour and a half, an hour some evenings. Some nights it's 30 minutes, I agree. But I think that that's something we should consider while we're in this process also. Because I know it's very expensive for them to have attorneys sit here and not knowing when they're going to be called upon to possibly speak or handle their deal. So that's something that I would proffer up to the rest of my council.
Maybe we
also.
can look at moving them around on the agenda a little bit, since presentations it may be easier for a homeowner to get here at 6 or 6:30 from work for the presentation.
And I see their point. They're paying a guy, if they have, one night there was a guy here that was paying two people $800 an hour to sit here. And it was an hour and 45 minutes before we even started the first legislative matter of the meeting that night. So he's out nearly $2,800 before they ever even got to say a word. So I do see their point.
Good point.
Mayor.
Yes, please.
I can't agree with that at all, because you never know what's going on in the month that you're going to be giving a presentation for. So, and I really believe that that's as important as our legislative agenda items, as the people. They do so much in our community. I think starting it at 5:30 is great. I think that that way we could get right into business probably at 6:30 or even before, depending on the presentations. But I totally support what's on the agenda tonight. But I guess we just could look at that later on.
Okay. Anything further from council?
Yes, Mayor, I have a follow-up. Thank you. Just for clarification purposes, I know I was absent at the last city council meeting, and I would just like to know, when was this discussed that Councilman Williams was able to give that information? Because at that time, I would have also offered this information. So I just, for clarification purposes, was this on the council meeting? Like, how was their input from him onto this agenda item?
I think he came to you, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Right after the meeting, he approached me and he mentioned that he had a conflict because of his
Bible
church
study.
activities on Tuesdays.
Okay, so I guess this is my input then, that
Thank
it's
you.
not available on Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shelley.
Mr. Mayor, I have a question here on, actually it's on the adjournment. It has nothing to do really with the changes, just something I've noticed here. I see here that it says for adjournment, you know, everything ends at 8:30 now instead of 10:30, which is fine because of the time frames. But however, the city council by affirmative vote of 5 council members present may extend the meeting. What if we don't have 5 council members here at the time?
You go to midnight.
Yeah, I mean, it's not written in a super majority format. It's assuming all 7 of us are still here. So it just seems to be that this may be a clause that's implemented at 8:30 because we could go much longer at times. So I just wanted to make sure that's clarified. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting here for.
Sometimes people do leave early.
Yeah.
That's the way that reads now. It's just a different time change, but that's the same as the current resolution. The idea there being that, you know, if you're shorthanded of members, you don't want to necessarily continue going on and on to a later time either. So,
I mean, I just was curious about whether or not that was
Right, that
intended to
provision
be
was not
5
changed.
only, or whether.
That was
4
purposely done that way in
Okay.
the past.
That's all, I just want to make sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I'll open the public hearing. Questions from the public? Favor or against? Hearing none, seeing none. We'll close the public hearing. Final questions from council?
Yes. Now, when are we, Mr. Mayor, when are we going to, when's this going to start? I guess that's the big question, because we have to make sure we can let people know, again, the whole education process. When is this going to take effect? Next week? Next council meeting?
Next official meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we'll post it everywhere on the website and we'll do a press release. I don't think she is, but we'll do all the necessary advertisement that we need to inform our residents.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Mr. Burns.
Perhaps with some of our education literature that doesn't seem to reach the proper channels, we should look at starting this in September. And that way we can make sure that it's on the channel for a good month and it's out there instead of starting right away. I mean,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
I mean, with the trash and everything else, we seem not to get the word out as effectively as we would all like, or hope, or think we do. So, just a simple observation.
So can we all agree? Give it a month, September? Okay.
Sure.
September being the start date. All right. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lopez?
No.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Woolman?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you. 23?
Mayor, this is a motion approving an item, bid number 201004, Northeast 9th Street improvements, access road to the Hampton Inn, related to the prior item on this agenda. This is the actual construction.
Motion? Move it?
I'll move it, Mayor.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mr. Maldonado. Staff report?
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, recommending that Homestead Concrete and Drainage, Inc. be awarded the contract to perform the construction outlined in this scope of work. And that's my recommendation, sir. Contrary to what you have seen
Oh, no, geez.
in the news and
How can
they
people,
are,
how can they, why do we
staff-
allow them to write things that aren't true?
I'm going to address that later on today
it
as
started
well.
with a blog, I presume.
Got a good law firm.
And yes, but, and we were under the cone of silence, so my ability to speak was extremely limited. What typically happens is staff makes a recommendation to me. Most of the time I go with that recommendation, but in this instance there was a $44,000 difference between 2 local vendors. The difference being that they submitted the information, but when it came to documentation pertaining to the minorities requirements and things like that, they said NA because they felt it didn't apply. But it was just a form, and they were a minority themselves. That's why they said this doesn't apply to me because I am one. They just filled it in correctly, and I just picked up the phone and called, and I got the right forms and everything that was needed. I didn't feel that it was worth the difference in money. And they're also a local vendor, so.
So we're $44,000 cheaper?
We are exactly $44,257.07 different.
Excellent. Was worth the work. Very good. Questions from council?
I have a technical question to the attorneys, Mayor.
Please.
Just because of all the emails that were going back and forth through the city manager, and I know that I replied to one of the emails to you, you copied me on an answer to the Miami Herald, and I had no idea what the question was. And so I responded back to you that I needed some clarification. But to the attorneys, the cone of silence, it says, until the manager makes a recommendation to council. Does that mean that once it's packaged like it was here, ready to come before city council, that that is deemed a recommendation from city manager, or until we vote on it, then the cone of silence is lifted? Because to me, it's just a common sense thing. We don't want council to interfere with the choosing of the vendor. Once the committee has recommended to the city manager, and the city manager has put it in writing, essentially, who he's going to recommend at the city council meeting, what then would prevent anyone from speaking between the time that this is posted to the time that we vote on it?
Mr. Mayor, I think that's a good question. We'll take a look at our cone of silence provision and see what it provides for these precise expiration period. So we'll take a look at that and get back to you on that to see exactly when the cone of silence ends. Some cities have it where it ends, where the manager creates the report. Others have it where it ends when the meeting commences on the item. So we'll have to check that for the precise language.
Well, I think regardless of cone of silence issue, they quoted the wrong contractor, did they not?
They did. The information was totally erroneous. What was out there? Like it normally is. I mean, it starts with a blog and people don't know, they make assumptions. And they start writing and everybody that reads them believes them. And that's how the media got a hold of it, I presume. Or by somebody that called and made the statement. It was an erroneous statement, but I don't know. Who knows how it started?
Yes, Mayor. This, to me, was a pretty serious issue, on many levels, not only because we did not answer this email that came to us. I feel like we got an unfavorable writing in the Miami Herald by Ms. Morales. The email went out and it said, I need a response from the council members to the same question. That went out July 14th. And basically, was asking the questions about this bid contract. And I saw that we did not respond, to this comment. And then we got another email 2 days later, July 16 at 11:28 a.m., and it says, hello, I need an answer or no comment on this question today. Thanks. To that, you responded afterwards, letting them know that this was under the cone of silence and we were not to comment on this. And I had called and asked you whether we should comment on this and was finding out about this. And so, because we did not answer, I feel strongly that we were not, like I said, it wasn't a favorable write-up. And, so if my question is then, if this was under a cone of silence and only staff has it, then my question is, how does Ms. Morales have that question ahead of time? She's here, maybe you could ask her, she's in the crowd right now, and she got a, I hate to put her on the spot, but, she puts us on the spot all the time, and so this information got out before it was supposed to get out and made us look bad, and so my question is, who gave you the information out of when it's not supposed to be given?
Come to the podium. Well, you've come to the podium like everybody else.
Mr. Mayor, while she's coming to the podium, I just wanted to point out, in reference to Councilwoman Lobos' question, that our code at section 2-411.2, paragraph C, says the cone of silence shall terminate at the beginning of the city council meeting, whether regular, special, or committee of the whole meeting, at which the city manager makes his or her written recommendation to the city council.
Yes, ma'am. Name and address.
This was an email sent to me by a source who has asked to remain anonymous, and it linked to the city website. That's where I got the
linked
information.
To the what, city website?
To the city website. The information that I got was all on the city website.
It linked to the, she got the message through a link from the city website.
And I clicked on the link, and it took me to the city website.
And what we have posted is the tabulation of the people that submitted the bid, and a copy of the RFP as well. All the information that pertains to that particular bid. In no case it shows my recommendation to you, because that I created at a later time.
But why did you write that the Redland Group got the job when they didn't get the job?
I didn't write that anybody got the job. I wrote that the city had not issued a contract yet. I just said that, wrote that the review committee was recommending Redland.
We were?
Yes. That no
Yeah.
contract had been awarded.
I've got it right here on on the computer, because I was a little confused myself.
Why don't we try to find out who forwarded the message?
Well, yeah, that, you know, again, whether, so even if it was from a blog site, again, this information was out before it was supposed to be out. And so I would like for, through the mayor, if we could find out, you know, who's leaking our information that shouldn't be put out there, and putting it out ahead of time to try to smear us, then, you know, I think that is unfavorable to us. So I don't know if I could do that, but, you know, through the mayor.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I think what happens is the city government is very transparent in that when an evaluation committee meets to consider a bid, those proceedings are routinely posted on the internet. They're only a recommendation at that time. They're not binding, but bidders and others actually could go on the website and actually listen to the evaluation committee meetings as if they were there. So many other cities don't do that, but the Homestead does have that accessibility.
And so that you know, ever since that happened, because of this incident, I have told that the only thing, I have instructed our procurement division not to post anything beyond the listing of the moment that we get the bids in, and that we put them on the spreadsheet as to who bid and the amount. That would be the last step posted on the website before I issue my recommendation to you. Thereafter, we can provide all that information because it becomes public record. But until that point, I don't want anything on our website that may insinuate a recommendation that is official. In this case, it wasn't, because it wasn't my recommendation, but just to avoid questions.
I still don't think his question was answered.
Yeah, and I just, you know, I think I'm trying to make a point here where, you know, our local newspaper writers, you know, using unreliable sources and putting a story out there that's not true. So I just want to call her out on it the way she's called us out on this issue, and let her know where her sources are blogs. So just want to put that out for the record.
Mayor,
Yes,
I was a little confused because I didn't receive any of these email requests from the reporter, because I guess it should be getting who got money from Pinky Munns or whatever, so I wasn't even in. And when I got the email from the manager, I was like, what the heck is even going on? So this is all news to me.
It's no different than our first public speaker. You know, just misquotes one after another. Anyway, so where we're at the final, closing the public hearing and final questions from council. Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Councilman Maldonado.
Just real quick, just so there is no confusion, the recommendation is Homestead Concrete.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Councilman Maldonado.
Yes.
Councilman Shelley.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Woolman.
Yes.
Councilman Burgess.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lopez.
Yes.
Mayor Bateman.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
The reason I asked for that, Mayor, if I could, is just because
Yes.
when I downloaded the agenda, it still had the recommendation of Redland on the one page at the final, so that's why I was a little bit confused.
Who updates the website? Do we have one person updates?
Our IT department. The information gets submitted by the departments.
Well, this
in
would
case
have this would
procurement.
have came through on the agenda that was given out Friday evening. So at that time, I still received the recommendation of Redland, not Homestead Concrete.
But the blog, I believe, was out there even before any of this stuff was up.
No, you were way out, you were a week out trying to answer the paper, yeah. Okay, item A, weekly report, city attorney. City manager, go ahead, please.
None at this time, sir.
Thank you. City attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one item this evening. We'd like to request a further attorney-client session in the Latner litigation. That's a follow-up to the tolling agreement that was approved this evening. Joe Sirota's office will be setting that up in the near future.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Reports from mayor and council. Vice Mayor Wellman.
This boot is killing me. That's all I can tell you. And Mayor, if you don't mind, on top of everything else, I had a little car accident on Saturday, so I'm going to be leaving right after my business. So could we move the charter?
Sure.
Committee appointments?
That's no problem. We'll move it under Vice Mayor Wallman. I'd like to make the Charter Review Committee recommendations, and it starts out as chair. Vice Mayor Judy Wallman will be the chair of the Charter Review Committee. Ed Powell, James Sutton, Frank May, and the gentleman who was here earlier, Alejandro and Dickerson from the Oasis. Most of these people are either presidents or past presidents of their associations. So with those 5 suggestions,
Mayor.
motion? Yes.
Quick question.
Sure.
Are all 5 of them residents of the city of Homestead?
All of them are residents with the exception of one. I checked with the city attorney, and it didn't.
I understand it doesn't do that, and I went along with it on the planning and zoning because I think a lot of business owners, but I can't, if everybody's not a resident. I had a problem when I sat on this board several years ago with people that weren't residents coming in here and voicing their opinions or giving their concerns and telling me what, as a voter and a taxpayer, what I needed to do. So I guess we're going to need to call them name by name.
Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll leave them like they are and just vote it. Fine. We'll vote them.
Well, I mean, 4 of them are fine because they're residents, but I just cannot vote for somebody on this particular board that is so important.
I think that recommendation was brought forward because of that individual's experience in city government, period.
And with the Seminole Theater.
Yeah. I think, do we have anyone else that has questions on the floor? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Mayor, yes, I do have a question. The last time that we spoke publicly about this, we were told that each one of us could recommend somebody to sit on the Charter Review Committee, and I just wanted to know the people that, I mean, I know I submitted someone and she's not on the list of recommendations. Are we giving them an official thanks but no thanks?
Oh, without a doubt.
Notice or anything like that?
Sure, they'll get something very nice from the mayor and if you want from mayor and council. There were quite a few applicants, and when I took the committee from 7 to 5, you know, I had to make, it's a tough decision, I had to make it, and these are the 5 that I chose based on what you know, their knowledge and their experience. So, anyone else, question? Okay. With
Make
that,
a motion that we vote one by one?
okay. Let's go on the very first one, our chair, Vice Mayor Judy Wallman.
Well, you don't have to vote on
In favor? Okay, aye. Okay. Alejandro and Dickerson, the president of Oasis. All in favor?
Aye.
Ed Powell?
Aye.
All in, okay. James Sutton?
Aye.
Okay. Frank May?
Nay.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, how many ayes, how many nays?
Nay.
1, 2 nays,
Aye.
3 ayes.
4 ayes.
4 ayes.
4 ayes, excuse me. 2 ayes? 4 ayes, okay, carries. All right, thank you. Are you through?
Yes, thank you.
Send me your business. All right, thank you. Councilman Williams is not here. Councilman Burgess.
Just want to let everybody know that the Homestead Community Image Board will be meeting again in August. We're going to set the date with the clerk's office and our assistant. And other than that, sir, no other business tonight.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Lobos.
I have 2 items, Mayor, just to kind of highlight the folder that you received from Art South. If I could just plead with you to read
Sure.
Part 3, because it does list all the awards, and they're very recent. that they received, and I know Janice wasn't able to highlight because she was told 3 minutes and less. And then the second item, we received a postcard letting us know the dates of recycling and the new pickup of the bulk. And so the question that I had from a lot of people were, where are the recycling bins? So I sent an email to the city manager requesting information on where my area would get the recycling bins, and I was told that 3 out of the 5 zones had not received recycling bins. I drove by the BJ site and saw that there were some new ones out there, so I'm looking for a date. When are the remaining 3 zones going to receive the recycling bins so that we can too recycle on the dates that the postcard stated we were going to be picked up?
Actually, by the end of this week, all bins will be delivered. We're actually only one zone, actually a portion of one zone is left to be delivered. So that's where we're at as of today.
That would be my zone.
As of today.
Okay.
Well, we're going by days of pickup, so it's just, we started with the Monday routes, the Tuesday routes, and that's how we started working it. So we're on the very last zone.
Okay, thank you. Anything else from you, Mrs. Lobos? No, that's good.
No, thank you,
Okay.
Mayor.
Mr. Maldonado.
Thank you, Mayor. Just first of all, the Education Committee will be meeting July 29th, is our next Education Committee, and if anyone would like to attend, please be here. Emails will be sent out. Also, if you would like to be listed to receive emails when the Education Committee is going to be meeting, please contact Lourdes and get on the email list so that you could receive your email. Second, Mayor, and I don't know how to propose this or how to bring this forward. Maybe our lawyers would help us here, or city staff. Mayor, I applaud your work in trying to give more preference or help out our local businesses. We just voted on a 10% increase for our local businesses, and I applaud you on that. I think that's a great effort. On top of that, being a local business owner, I've heard the cares and concerns of many of the business owners here, and many of them do not live within the area, but seem not to have a voice. And so I've somewhat become the voice of those local businesses. What I would like to, their concern is that of the signage. A lot of business are only open today because of a small sign that is available. And what's happening is that, code enforcement is doing their job, which, you can't say anything against that. But in removing that sign, we could probably lose, some of these businesses are going to go out of business, and we're going to lose, the services that we get from them. We're going to be losing money from them. So I don't know how to approach this and seeing if we could, I don't want to say moratorium, that's not the correct word, but somehow we could modify it for a time while we're having this recession that we're having. I myself have noticed that the business has gone down the last couple of months. I've been affected as well. And so if there's something that we could do to help these local businesses in modifying the signs for a time within the right parameters. I mean, I don't want abuse happening here and just kind of a rampant of signs going throughout the city, but nonetheless, I would like to try to help them out. We just gave a 10% preference, and so we've made effort to help them out. So if this is another position that we could take to help them out, that I'm in favor of doing that. So with that, I bring that before you, and it doesn't have to be today, but at least if we could start working that out and seeing if we can make that happen. I don't know if it's possible or not, but.
No, it is, and Councilman Burgess really has already started on that, and I think we just need to move forward and do the right thing.
Mayor.
Yes.
What Councilman Maldonado, through the chair to Councilman Maldonado, what we've done is we started on the east side of town. Because I live over there, people see me walking every day with my dogs and stuff, and we kind of cracked down on the developers over there. And what we asked them to do was to get in compliance, come back to us with what they needed, because we're well aware that they need signage and they need to differentiate their product from A, B, C, D. And all of them complied and have come back to the city. We sat down last week with code enforcement and everybody, and they've come up and we came to a consensus, and everybody, while they may not be 100% happy, they were very happy with what we did. And we're going to work through the city, and now that those bigger companies have complied, and we're going to try to work through the city section by section and get people, we understand everybody needs signs, but some people have gone overboard and taken it way beyond the scope of what's even decent to look at and stuff like that. And we're going to ask them to come back to us with what they need if they've gotten a violation. What do you need? We understand everybody needs signs. Everybody needs to differentiate their product. But we also have ordinances here in the city. And we can't allow people just to go out and walk over those ordinances and then expect other people to comply. So what we're methodically doing is going to try to work our way through the city, let everybody come to us with what do you need, and try to tone it down a little bit, but still give them an opportunity to advertise and show their product out there. But we definitely need to reel it in a little bit and get things under control.
Mr. Manager.
And the manager and I and code enforcement and director services have all been working very hard for a month and a half now and getting it started.
We have had a lot of progress along those lines. We were concentrating more on the bigger, like the billboard type signs that have become dilapidated, the trailers that were unsightly, the type of signs that were coming apart because these development sites have we're going through this market situation that and it's very hard for the developers themselves to maintain those signs in some occasions. But we have been very successful up to this day. We just what we can do is incorporate and we will be doing that, incorporating the commercial component into this effort, and to make sure that we give them enough room for them to have that exposure that they need, that means so much at this time. Having said that, we will also bring those that are really going beyond what they're expected to have and bring them into compliance the same way that we did with the real estate developers. So we'll continue that effort, and we'll bring in the commercial component into our effort.
And I think through our discussions, if I can also add on to that, is that I think we're going to be coming back with some changes to the code, because there's some very vague language in there that people construe or turn whichever way they want to, or however they feel they need to at the time. So I think in the near future, I would say within a couple of months, we'll probably be back after, and we're learning as we go what people need, so we're trying to tweak things as we go. That'll make everybody's life a little bit easier.
Thank you.
If I could somehow help out or be a part of that, and when you're making the changes, that I would make myself available to help out in this situation. So, and then that's it for me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Shelley.
Nothing really at this time. I was going to ask about the potholes, but I got that answer earlier. And then just for a quick clarification, though, the recycling. So every zone has been, as of this week, will be delivered. Because I get calls from not only my area, but I also get calls from other residents throughout the city. So I just want to be able, there's a few of them that I want to call back and tell them, you should already have it, or you will have it by the end of the week. So that's correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. And I received a nice letter from Art South, and I alluded to it a little bit earlier, but they were very pleased with the Paradise Way, that breezeway in between Art South and the motel, Greenstone Motel, whatever. The owner of Dade Medical College, Ernesto Perez, donated $8,000 to have it re-landscaped. The project is done. It's really beautiful, and it's just things like that where you can get, a private government partnership to work together with you and spend some of their hard-earned money on improving the looks of Homestead. So with that said, I say publicly thank you, Dade Medical College, for reaching in your pocket and spending some money in our community to spruce it up landscape-wise. And I don't say that for your benefit, Mr. Abbas. I just want to compliment them. They do a great job, and thank them. I want to thank them publicly here. With that said, our east and west trolley is running. People are very happy east of town. The community bank, the laundry, dry cleaners there have all stopped me and said, oh, they're thrilled to see the trolley coming by. So I think it's going to be a big asset. I know our ridership's up. We talked about it Friday a little bit. I think our ridership has gone double, east and west, has it not? I mean, north and south.
It doubled from the first to the second week. First week was in the 60s, second week was in the 120s, and we're expected to improve
So
a lot
we're
more.
trying to bring people from the west side over to the east side to take a look at the motel and the hospital and Portofino, coal-fired pizza, and other places like that. So I think it's all working. You know, I commend the council. Everybody's done a great job. And I know a lot of us are leaving town tomorrow to the conference, the power conference, and everybody have a safe trip, and we'll see you there. Yes, ma'am, Madam Clerk. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. There are a couple openings. Let me go back and announce those. We have openings on the Historic Preservation Board. We have a vacancy there. Resident or non-resident, it calls for. Homestead Community Advisory Board, vacancy. It requires a resident. And new elected official and senior management retirement plan requires a resident. So those three boards, we need some local citizens to step forward on. With that said, motion to adjourn. Thank you.